Alright guys, so we started talking about screenplays yesterday, and today we're going to dive into them a little bit more. Screenplays are a written script for a film, television show, or theatrical performance. It includes dialogue, action, and screen descriptions. What you will need for today is a pencil and a piece of paper. The pieces of paper are over by the door on that black wire rack, so if you need a paper and you don't have one, you may go get one, pause the video, and then come back. Okay, moving into screenplays. Screenplays are written to be seen and heard, not just read. Actors and directors are generally the ones reading them, but they can be read for like academic purposes or to just study so that you can learn how to become a better screenwriter. They focus on visual storytelling, meaning the stuff in your screenplay needs to be seen and not told. You get a lot more information in novels and short stories because of how they are formatted. Formatting in screenplays, unlike novels and short stories, are formatted with specific guidelines. They need the character names, the scene headings, dialogue, and action lines. This is an example of a tiny one-act thing, play. It probably only takes less than 5 minutes, but up at the top you have your title of the play, the scene, cast, and props. That is your screen heading. Below you have a log line. The log line is going to give you a tiny little snippet of what is expected in the play and how your character is going to resolve their conflict. Off to the left you have character names. These are in bold. The character names for this one is little kid and teacher. You have the dialogue off to the right of the character name, and then in parentheses, sometimes it's just italicized and set off a little bit, you have your action line. These are the actions that are taking place during or right after the dialogue. The 3-act structure, it's just another version of the hero's journey. And it's broken down into 3 acts. So these are the specific points in your story that change. When you read larger plays, think Shakespeare. That's something you'll see in high school. They're going to have much larger acts for their 3-act structure, but you'll have an act 1, 2, and 3. Occasionally they will go longer and the structure will be slightly different, but we're going to just focus on the 3-act structure right now as an introduction to screenwriting. Act 1, this is the setup. This is where it's going to introduce character, setting, and the main conflict or problem. Act 2 is the confrontation. This is where the main character is going to face obstacles and challenges and build tension. This is often after, in a hero's journey, this is after they leave the ordinary world and they are facing all of those obstacles. So if you think back to how you wrote your hero's journey, Act 2 is going to be a lot of the section that takes place in the other world. Act 3, the resolution. This is how the conflict is resolved and the story comes to a conclusion or an end. You need to wrap it up nicely. This is what Act 3 does, and it gives your reader or your viewer a satisfactory ending. So an example, we have Finding Nemo. We have all probably seen Finding Nemo, heard about Finding Nemo, or know the general gist of Finding Nemo. Act 1, the setup, is when Nemo is captured by a diver. This is the inciting incident that sets off the confrontation, which is Act 2, where Marlin faces challenges in trying to find Nemo. Act 3, the resolution. Nemo and Marlin are finally reunited, and they are able to come together and end the story. Here's a visual of the 3-act structure. Here we can see our ordinary plot line and see how each act has each section of the plots in it. Identifying the acts. You're going to watch La Luna. I want you to answer these 3 questions on the piece of paper that you have. What is the beginning? What challenges did the main character face? And how is the conflict resolved?
Oui, voilà. Malaman ka sa bakal. Dito po na sa. Magkano sa walang kapal?
Alright, so that is La Luna. If you need to watch it again, you can go onto YouTube, look it up, and watch it. So, answer the questions. What happened in the beginning? What challenges did our main character face? And how was the conflict resolved? Next, we're going to create our own logline. A logline is a brief summary of a movie, show, or play that is typically 1 to 2 sentences long and tells the core of the story without giving too much away. An example, going back to Finding Nemo. A worried father embarks on an ocean-wide adventure to rescue his son who is captured by a diver. Here we get the general gist of the story, but we don't know exactly what Marlin is going to have to do on his adventure to rescue his son. Your prompt is to use your brainstorm session from yesterday, create a log line for your screenplay, and consider your main character. Consider your main character whenever you do this. Think of the conflict they need to face, and then what they must do to resolve that conflict. That will create your log line. Once you have completed your questions for the La Luna, you can hand that into the turn-in tray. Once you have created your log line, go ahead and turn that into your brainstorm session assignment on Google Classroom from yesterday. Alright guys, that is all for today from me. Please be good for your sub. Have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.